I'm Tim Pham. Well, it is Monday morning. We are off to a good start. Let's head on over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick because it is going to be warm today. Thomas, are we going to see the triple digits here in the inland northwest today?
Not today, but later on in the week, absolutely. This is going to be a hot week of weather, and it includes the upcoming weekend, in case you're already trying to make some plans already. So let's start there. There are excessive heat watches in effect for central Washington, the Okanagan Valley, and the LC Valley. This is just the watch stage. It's more like the outlook stage. This will get upgraded into warnings and heat advisories all across the inland northwest by the time we get to Wednesday. And really, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend are going to be the hottest days ahead of us. As for today, it is comfortable out there and even a little bit cool in some areas. We're in 61 in Spokane. You see beautiful blue skies over Lake Coeur d'Alene, the live shot that you see behind the graphic there. It's just 51 in Coeur d'Alene. 41 in St. Mary's. It's not uncommon to get 40s in our normal cool spots, you know, close to the Silver Valley, Sandpoint, Deer Park. Not uncommon, but a big difference. Microclimates certainly on display this morning between, depending on where you are at. But once we're about an hour or two after sunrise, we get to 7, 8 a.m. Everybody should be in the 60s by then. And we are looking at low 90s for temperatures today across most of the inland northwest. We see 92 in Spokane, up to 97 in the Omak area. But triple digits will absolutely be on the way later on in the week. So we'll show you how long the upcoming heat wave is going to last in total duration. Your forecast is coming up in a couple minutes.
Happening today, the Mead School District will discuss potential changes to curriculum and library books in the elementary school. The school board's director wants to make changes to how critical race theory and gender identity are taught. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez tracking this story for us this morning live in Mead to explain what could change. Good morning, Nicole. Tell us about it.
Good morning, Tim. So right now I'm live at Creekside Elementary School, and in just a few weeks this empty building will be full of teachers and students. Classes start on August 30th, and now the school board director, Michael Cannon, is proposing changes to how teachers are talking about history in classrooms. Part of that says teachers should not talk about certain topics unless they're age appropriate and there is more than one perspective. Here's a look at some of the things Cannon is proposing should not be taught in classrooms. That one race or sex is inherently better than another, that the U.S. is fundamentally racist or sexist, and that any person should feel guilt or distress over their race or sex. But community leaders are saying critical race theory and gender identity teachings don't teach those ideas in the first place. Spokane NAACP President Keonta Duncan shared her opinion in a Facebook Live on Sunday. She says critical race theory is not about making anyone feel bad, but instead about learning from and understanding the country's history.
Talking about racism and race and critical race theory and all the pieces, we have got to swallow the truth. It's not meant to make anybody feel bad or feel like they're less than. That's not the point. The point is getting real honest about what really happened, what really happens, current tense, what's happening, present tense.
So the school board director is also proposing restrictions on certain books in elementary school libraries. That could ban books about gender identity and gender neutral concepts. Duncan talked about that in her Facebook Live as well, saying taking the books away will not change the amount of students who identify as LGBTQ+. And she says it could negatively affect how students see themselves. Tonight's school board meeting will be the first time the board reads these proposed policy changes. That means they shouldn't be making any real decisions tonight. That meeting is starting at 6 o'clock this evening. It's happening at Northwood Middle School. There will also be both a webinar and call-in option for that meeting. In Mead, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Nicole, thank you so much for that update. In the meantime, today, the trial for a former Spokane police officer accused of raping 2 women starts. In 2019, Nathan Nash was charged with second and third degree rape and official misconduct. In 2021, he was charged with rape and unlawful imprisonment. Last year, a Spokane County judge ruled the 2 cases to merge. It is 6:05. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. A 21-year-old man died early Saturday morning following a crash involving 2 other cars. According to Washington State Patrol, a 63-year-old woman drove the wrong direction on I-90 near the Spokane International Airport. She hit the victim's car and another car. The suspect is charged with vehicular homicide and vehicular assault. WSP says drugs or alcohol were involved in the crash. The victim of the crash is 21-year-old Gage Lavoie of Clayton. The Springdale Frontier Days Rodeo Association posted on Facebook about Lavoie's death. They say he was a part of their rodeo family for more than 4 years and would help out wherever he was needed. The federal government is funding rural health care in Idaho. 5 healthcare providers received more than $3.5 million to improve access in smaller communities across the state. It's all a part of the American Rescue Plan passed back in March of 2021. Its goal is to bring rural communities easier access to health care. Spokane Valley's theater scene continues to grow. Crews broke ground on the Idaho Central Spokane Valley Performing Arts Center on Saturday. The new center will be a place for performances, summer camps, and education. They hope to have their first performance in June of 2024. And that's a look at your morning rush. The Idaho Supreme Court will not block the state's new abortion laws from taking effect next week. It comes after the state Supreme Court decided they will not continue to issue a stay on Idaho's restrictive abortion laws. There are 3 laws: a 6-week abortion ban known as the heartbeat law, a near total abortion ban known as the trigger law, and a civil enforcement mechanism where anyone performing an abortion in Idaho could be sued. The civil enforcement mechanism to sue a doctor for performing an abortion goes into effect on August 19th. Then trigger laws go into effect in the state of Idaho on the 25th. Hundreds of protesters took to the streets across Idaho this weekend opposing the court's decision.
The mother or parents have the right to decide what they want to do in those kind of situations. It shouldn't be a law.
The laws will remain in effect while the lawsuits play out in court. So what will actually happen in Idaho on August 25th when those laws go into effect? The state will be able to criminally enforce the Heartbeat Act, meaning abortion will be a felony in the case of a detected heartbeat, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. The trigger law enforces a near total ban in which abortion is illegal 6 weeks after conception. Affirmative defenses are allowed in cases of rape, incest, or to save a mother's life. In the case of rape or incest, the victim will have to provide a police report.